Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all enjoyed your weekend. There's so much CSGO news to cover. Remember, guys, timestamps will be down below if you want to bounce around. The first big story out there, as we hop right into it, is all around Peter. If you guys do not know, it was this past weekend during Pug matches. Some strong allegations came out there about stream sniping. We've heard this quite a few times in the past year, but the confusion around this event was quite substantial. If you guys did not know, it was actually on live stream. Jason R was the main culprit of the clips out there so far of apparently during Pug matches, where it was actually Peter being accused of stream sniping. At one point during the game, there were bomb sounds and a stream heard in the background, and no one really knows exactly where that noise did come from. Allegations did point towards Peter because apparently in the past we've had Jason R as well as maybe a few other pros out there accusing him of such things, and so many clips surfaced out there. I'm going to share with you guys the first clips about this, and also thanks to the guy on YouTube, I'll link his video down below for all of you, who lined up the streams where clearly the beeps going on in the background stream did not match up with the beeps going on during the game itself. So of course there would be that delay as well. So all in all, no one knows exactly what happened during this weekend's Pug matches. It was then actually later on as well, it was actually Silent, currently from Old Guys Club. He actually accused Peter, and so people now, the rumors are that apparently Silent tried to set him up, and it was actually Silent, maybe himself, stream sniping or using some kind of sound device or soundboard to actually set him up. So the whole confusion, this situation is going to continue, guys. It was actually Tark taking to Twitter as well, apologizing. As of right now, no one knows what happened. Apparently we're going to move past this, but I'll play you guys the clips as well during Pug matches where apparently Peter was stream sniping, and then he wasn't proven to be stream sniping.
Flom's on the other team.
Wait, guys, did you just hear that? Oh no.
Jason?
You see this, man?
This is bull out here.
Tell me that this is some Amanex.
Marky, dude. The poor guy.
No,
don't even know
see
if
this.
sniped.
No,
He
you
was
don't.
just in the chat.
You've been gone for a while. You've been gone for a while.
What
Me
are you
and
gonna-
Peter had an argument.
About him what?
I was calling him out for stream sniping, and
How
I was.
did you call him out though? On what evidence?
What do you mean on what? He just what he does in the game. He's always flanking. He's always stacking sights. He's always my ass, bro. Always.
Should we confront him?
And I did. I said, Peter.
No, but after this clip,
Peter,
I'm saying.
I can't beat you. Yeah, we
Link
probably
the
should.
clip?
This is not good PR for any of us, honestly.
Link it, Jason.
Because okay, listen to the if I'm listening to my VOD right now, when someone's defusing the actual bomb, it's clicking by super fast. Like it was the last 3 seconds of the bomber, but then when I hear it once the new round starts, the beep is going super slow.
Yeah.
So I feel like someone
That's-
might actually be setting someone up.
Like while somebody's talking, they just play that.
Yeah.
That's like a soundboard.
Yeah,
That's what
like a soundboard. Like it actually might be like a soundboard or something. Oh no. Oh.
Sorry, I'm sorry. 1024 768 stretch. Sorry, I'm sorry. 1024 768 stretch. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. 1024 768 stretch. I'm sorry.
So the mystery is apparently just going to continue. If you guys want to give your take on what you think actually happened, feel free to leave a comment down below, because I'm just as confused as probably many of you guys are. But again, there is so much great news out there this past weekend. The next one is probably the biggest story that I'm most excited about. We talked about this last week, guys. Apparently Operation 9, our next CSGO operation, whenever that does drop, will bring with it a brand new mode, which should be a brand new survival map. Apparently a Valve employee was actually playing on an unreleased map and a mode that we had never seen before. It's now been confirmed even by a Valve News Network. If you guys don't know, I'll link his channel down below. He covers all information Valve related, all the leaks out there, and he definitely has a lot of credentials to actually back this up, guys. Here's what he had to say on live stream, and for context, he is actually talking about Infernorse, who actually leaked this kind of stuff. So here's the future of Valve's plans.
Because I don't want this guy to get in trouble or anything, but I literally just asked. This is Counter-Strike related, so don't freak out. But this was so there was a thing that came out where somebody was like, hey, a Valve employee's playing on a survival map, a battle royale map. And so I was like, okay. So I looked at the picture, and I'm not going to say who it is. You do the research yourself, because I don't want this guy getting in trouble. And so I was like, okay, I'll match that name to the Valve employee. Oh, it's this guy. Okay. Then I look over here. All right, and I type it in. Oh, okay, it's this guy. Okay, find his email. I do some research because his email's not public. Found his email. All right. And then just emailed him, hey, there's a picture of you playing an unreleased map in an unreleased game mode for Counter-Strike. Is it real? And then he went, yeah, it's real. Thanks.
So pretty much with this all being said, what we know now, it's going to be a survival mode or survival map, and it should be a game mode like Wingman with a Hydra operation with our next operation, whatever that's called and whatever that game mode will be. Will it be a battle royale? It seems iffy right now. Will it be more of a survival mode? If you guys remember back in the day, a lot of you guys might be too young for this, Halo firefights, you know, where they have waves of enemies come in, they get increasingly harder, and of course you have to survive as long as possible. It could be more like that, which sounds anticlimactic, but I enjoyed that back in the day, and I think anything different from our current game modes is going to be a plus for the game of CSGO. So what do you guys think about that? I am super excited. It has now been confirmed, or pretty much confirmed, our next operation will bring with it some brand new game modes. And also another CSGO news out there, guys. Neil from the Imperial has now officially stepped down from the roster. He did talk to me very briefly, guys, and Imperial will not be continuing in the CSGO scene. If you guys remember all the way back, I think it was actually a DreamHack event where they first made their mark, and they were definitely an improving team out there, but definitely not a huge surprise to see this team actually disband eventually, not continue in CSGO. If you look at their past 5 months, they have actually transitioned between 10 different players in just that 5-month span. The list goes on and on. Asilian, Loba, Nuki. I mean, we have so many other players out there as well. Then we also had Nexa being taken away. They lost a lot of players in these past few months, and it's no surprise at all. Best of luck to Neil. He should continue in the CSGO scene as a coach/manager, and I'm definitely certain he'll find a good home out there. But also on top of that, in some smaller news out there, it's been confirmed Cloud9 has officially signed Kioshima, which surprisingly enough, guys, he has now been signed to that roster without playing any official best of threes on LAN, which is pretty crazy to see. But of course, we saw them at Blast Pro Series Copenhagen, and they did pretty decently. Of course, they placed in that bottom half of that tournament, but I did say this on stream as well, as I'll tell you guys again, they looked pretty well in those best of ones. They played teams like Navi and Astralis very close. They beat teams like FaZe Clan, MIBR in those best of ones. In this initial experience, it looks like a very solid future for this team, but again, they have yet to play a best of 3 on LAN, so we're going to see exactly how this team is tested, and we'll talk about that, the whole testing of a team, especially in our last story. It's going to be all about vitality. But again, guys, Cloud9 has officially signed Kioshima, which I am super excited for. I cannot be happier for that guy. And also currently we have our minor teams actually qualified for both Asia as well as CIS. North America and Europe are not going to be for almost another month from now, but again, this is actually very important because we now have our final 8 minor teams for both those regions, guys. Also very important, out of the Asian minor, very surprisingly, Grayhound Gaming take your first place spot after beating Renegades in a very, very close best of 3. I'll show you guys their celebration right now. And I couldn't be happier for the guys. Although it was very close, they avoided a comeback and then also came back themselves during that series several times. And it wasn't Dick Stacy's best tournament ever. I will not lie to you guys, but of course, you know I love the guy. And also on top of that, that does mean they are 1 step away from the major qualifier, which means they're also 1 step away from Big Dick Stacy stickers. You can just imagine what he can actually come up with, guys. But it will be no surprise, those top 2 teams out of Oceania, guys, going to be Renegades as well as Grayhound. Grayhound going through in that first place spot. And as of right now as well, our CIS teams have also been confirmed, and it's looking like CIS might have their worst performance in the major qualifier, whatever teams do go through. This is looking like a very weak region. Now, of course, with Vegas Squadron joining the legendary stage teams already, they've already lost another team here. We see teams like Windstrike, other teams out there that we did not expect to qualify. A team under pressure, if you guys do not know, Starix, Hooch, Seized have actually joined up to actually have that team, so it's pretty cool to see them qualify for the minor. If they make the major qualifier, that would be awesome to see those guys, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. It looks like a very weak region. Of course, both these regions, Asia as well as CIS, looking pretty weak this time around. It'll be very cool to see which teams actually do manage to qualify, of course, for the major qualifiers. Remember, of those 8 teams who have qualified for both those regions, 2 teams will go through. I cannot wait to see which teams actually make it out and survive. And very lastly in CSGO news, guys, but also most importantly, I want to talk about DreamHack Atlanta. I told you guys our only big tournament going on this past weekend was probably due for some upsets because it was mainly a North American tournament. Some lesser teams definitely there. It's actually Vitality, though, taking away their first LAN win together, which is actually pretty cool. But I want to say as well, there are many people out there overhyping their, I think, their win here. Of course, a lot of the teams here were definitely lesser teams. Complexity, probably your top-rated team besides that being Vitality in that roster. First of all, I do want to say, with the teams that were here, they looked extremely dominant, guys. They could could not have done, I don't think, any better than they did here, but I don't want to overhype their victory here. Definitely a big accomplishment. MBK looked stellar. Zywoo looked absolutely insane. I don't think we could have expected anything better than for those two guys, and it's great to see the IGL actually feeling confident once again. But I do want to say the teams they did beat were definitely teams that have struggled as of late. On top of that, guys, we also have, unfortunately enough, not the best performance from Ghost Gaming. I think besides probably Vitality as well as Complexity, it was probably Ghost Gaming here to maybe strike an upset. Unfortunately enough, in their series against LG. LG surprisingly looking pretty well for their poor EPL as well as ECS seasons. It was actually a close best of 3 and a final map 3 comeback from LG, which sent Ghost Gaming home. And if you guys did see the finals, I mean, Vitality looked absolutely dominant. Throughout the entire tournament so far, we saw them beat teams like Fragsters. They swept them as well as Rogue. Although we could say this, guys, Rogue has a brand new IGL MSL. And also on top of that, Fragsters had a sub-in player. It was HS for Bubsky. So two teams who were kind of halfway broken, but Vitality swept both of them and looked very dominant throughout both those series. And then, of course, it was actually Vitality closely beating Complexity in a best of 3. And in the finals, it was one of the worst finals I've seen ever since, of course, our last Liquid Astralis final. It was actually a sweep of LG, and it was not even close. But either way, it was definitely a great victory for them. Like I said before, if they were going to win this event in a landslide way, they could not have done so in any better fashion than they did this past weekend. They look very strong, but do not forget, these were mainly North American teams. Besides, I guess Envious is now a North American roster, and I don't even know if I would count them as a complete team right now. Looking at Envious, guys, they put up 6 total rounds against Complexity in their best of 1, and they lost to LG. They got swept by LG, which I think was a series out of anger, because I told you guys about this. It was actually Envious who kicked LG into auto relegation for EPL, and this was their revenge, showing they are clearly the better team and clearly deserve to be in that league besides Envious. But again, relegation matches still going on for that team to actually qualify if they can actually stay in EPL. But nonetheless, guys, I think a great victory for them, a great tournament as well. Besides, a lot of the series Vitality did play were quite one-sided. Again, they're looking very strong. They are currently, in my opinion, still probably the best French team alongside LDLC. And very lastly, guys, speaking of that, in our very last news, speaking of Zywoo, it's now been confirmed by both Nell as well as, of course, we had Smoothie take to Twitter as well. This guy had offers on the table from several teams out there: Imperial, HR, Envious, FaZe Clan even, and apparently even G2. Of course, no surprise there. They did apparently offer him, but he turned them all down to join Vitality. And here we are, guys, their first official LAN victory, and they did so in surprising fashion. But as always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I will see you back here every day this week up until probably Friday. If you guys do not know, it's actually Thanksgiving. I'll be celebrating that and going back home, but I cannot thank you all enough for the great comments down below. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you back here in the morning. Okay, enjoy yourselves. Bye.